Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to my channel. If you did not listen to part 1 of Be Practical, please go and listen to it before continuing here. Thank you very much. I'll continue now. Look, it comes down to the following. When you walk by faith, you ought to be practical. By the way, walking by faith is already practical. But here's the thing, a lot of folks aren't really walking by faith. They're walking after beliefs. And often those beliefs are not in line with Christ. But they think they walk by faith because they hold on to certain beliefs. And they protect those beliefs. But those beliefs are not in line with Christ. And here's the thing, every belief you have that's not in line with Christ is a stronghold of the enemy to prevent you and keep you from walking by faith. Let me repeat that. Every belief you have, whether it's a belief based on the Bible, or based on Bible verses, or based on church doctrine, or whether it's a belief that comes straight out from pagan sources, or from religion, or from the secular world itself. Every belief you have that is not in line with Christ is a stronghold of the enemy that prevents you and hinders you in walking by faith. So that's why you ought to be practical by focusing on Christ so that your mind is renewed. That's why, let me say like this, that's why old beliefs need to be demolished, need to disappear. Now look, let me give an example to you. Let's say now that you have two friends, two girls. They both grew up in the same environment. They went to high school together, and now they both went to different colleges. One of them joins this cult, and she's not aware it's a cult. It's just a group of students having a good time together. But that other friend of hers, well, she has a group of friends, very small, and the one that joined the cult began to spend more and more time only with people of the cult. After a while, she blocked that other friend on Facebook and other social media. And the friend who was not in a cult was thinking, what did I do? We knew each other since we were children. We shared everything together. We were best friends. What has happened? And then the boyfriend of that girl told her, look, that friend of yours, let's call her Aileen. Aileen is now part of that group. She knows she needs to keep the group happy so they will treat her well. And she plans to use the group for a career later on. So she is practical. You are not part of that group. So if you are around her, the people of that cult are going to ask her, who is she? And now she has things to explain. And if this happens often, people of the cult may get tired of her and kick her out. And that's not going to be practical for her because she doesn't have much friends left outside of the cult. So she needs those people. That is why she did the practical thing by removing people from her public profile that would cause disharmony for her with the group. What she did was quite practical. Okay, let me give another example now. Let's say that you have become a police officer, or you're now working at some correction facility. Let's say now that you used to have friends that you used to hang out with. They used to break into all kinds of criminal stuff. Now you are a police officer. Also in your so-called private lives, you reflect the vision of the police corps, that they want order in society. So how are you going to associate yourself with criminals and people that break the law all the time, but at the same time you are a police officer and people ought to respect you on the streets? I mean, those criminals hang around with, they talk about you in the streets. So even if you don't help them and give them no privileges, even if you treat them in a fair manner that does not conflict with your job, the association itself will cause trouble for you and for the police corps in general. So if you want to become a police officer, they will tell you there are some codes There are some codes of conduct that you need to apply in personal life if you want to join us. Or maybe it's not a police officer, maybe you work at a corporation. And let's say now that on Facebook you like communist pages. Now, if that corporation is associated with communism, it may cost them to lose some customers. So, if you are working at a company, they may tell you, Jeff, why are you liking things of communism? You will get this social pressure on you to conform. Why? Because it's practical. Now look, I use this example also of a bank robber or just a robber in general that is practical. What I'm saying is that in the world, people tend to be practical. I'm not saying that just because something is practical that is wise. Neither that just because it's practical that means it's right. Absolutely not. There are many practical stuff that happened throughout history that were not right at all. Think of the Second World War, the First World War. Think about many other atrocities. Look, what I'm telling you here is to learn to look at the bigger picture. Because here's the thing, many people in the world, they're not into finding intelligence or finding knowledge and all of that. Many people just get along with the system. And the system is led by those that use demonic knowledge. And this demonic knowledge is practical. And the people that get along with this practical knowledge, they get relief quicker. Things work out for them externally. So it will appear as if those people are very smart, but they're not very smart. They're just following the lead of worldly leaders who are in demonic knowledge. You get what I'm saying here? So look, you as a believer, you ought to look at the bigger picture, especially you. Worldly people don't want to look at the bigger picture. Very few worldly people look at the bigger picture. Very few are interested. The reason why worldly people don't have that much contention, because they get along with the structure. And temporarily the structure gives them much relief. But you as a believer, you can't do the same. You need to look at the bigger picture in order to supernaturally anticipate things. You can't prevent everything from happening, but you can anticipate. Agree with Christ.